I think there's a tremendous amount of myth as to how much people actually make in a compensation plan. But let's retract back for a minute in terms of our compensation plan before I actually get into it. Let's think about the history of experiences that we've all had working for a major company. And as we go into that interview, sort of imagine things for a minute as we're interviewing with the boss or the future boss. And he goes through this compensation plan with you. And it's probably about 3 lines, maybe. The rest are policies and procedures, your so-called employee handbook. You know, one of the things that we have to start doing as a company, and we are going to be a raider about this, we're going to be a cowboy about it, however you want to define it, but we need to start educating this industry. Because it's an industry that we're a part of. It's also an industry that we fuel in terms of the economy. And the contributions that we have are significant in so many different ways, other than just a comp plan. And I know Michael's going to talk about this, Michael Kelly's going to talk about this later, in terms of our insight as a company, as a brand, as a culture, as we continue to talk about over and over and over again. I know I do it on the conference calls. But repetition sometimes is a good thing. And this compensation plan that we have was designed for the universe, not for the builders. The term heavy hitters, the term sharks, the term 25 years, 35 years in the industry as veteran networkers. This is for the average individual. Because we're targeting the universe. We're not targeting the heavy hitters. And so, as I go through this comp plan, you'll see that the elements within the comp plan are quite simple. If we make $1, then we have to give up a certain percentage of that dollar. There's no tricks. There's no, well, if you do this, you can get this. Well, you're there, but you got to do a little bit more. Didn't you read the fine print in 1-point font? Unless you read the 1-point font because you actually bought a magnifier, then they say, oh, but the company didn't print it. Did you see the addendum that was mailed out in the mail about 3 weeks ago? And for some, it's worse than that. For some, they get their paycheck cut without actually getting a notification in the mail. Because the founder of the company or the executive of the company or the investor in the company decided that they need to buy a corporate plane. Or they need to buy a bigger house. Compensation plan is paid. Can I see the compensation plan? I guess I have to memorize the compensation plan. Okay, since I wrote it, I guess I'll memorize it. The compensation plan is paid out through 7 ways. We've created 7 profit centers within the compensation plan to pay out to you. Now, why did we pick the number 7? Actually, when I first designed the compensation plan, we did an entire white paper case study on it. Does anybody know what that means?
No. Yeah.
It's just the color white, and it's a piece of paper. Just keep writing until you figure out a way to find what the best scenario would be for the universal payout system for this particular industry. Something that someone can relate to on a corporate level. Something someone can relate to from any particular occupation where they don't need to hire an algebraic equation mathematician to figure out what the payout system is. And I actually heard from our master associate, Mr. Jimmy Costard, who said, well, you know, when I first saw this plan, I'm going to sort of put you on the spot for a minute. I'm going to hire our comp people and just take a look at this thing to make sure that this payout system pays out right. And so when he got it, he said, you're missing some pages in the PDF file. Well, we sent you the entire document. It was 1.5 pages long. Well, I'm looking for more pages of the comp plan. Well, we've given you the comp plan. And so the perspective is quite different. The first is the obvious, and that is that we pay out based on retail profit, up to 30%. That 30%, up to 30%, is really a volume-based driven compensation plan that is derived through how much volume your retailing through a very simple process through our e-commerce system. Because we don't want you to have products and inventory in your home. We want these consumers to basically log in with your user ID number and password, or just your user ID in this case, because they're not an associate yet, and they'll go through the simple process of ordering products, of desired essentials that they need to have each and every day. The second way, which I think is a very exciting way to be able to create profit, is for those who really want to come into the business very aggressively. And there are a lot of you, rather than just some of you, that have attended the event today, that are looking to really move fast, really move quickly to show some positive results in the direction in which your involvement with life will take you in so many different ways, whether it be the lifestyle, whether it be the luxury, or whether it be the well-being. And that second profit center is really through our $499 Fast Track program. And this $499 Fast Track program is not just paper, it's not just full of products, and it's not just full of ether. It's a program that's designed, and the reason why we call it a Fast Track is not to get rich quick. The Fast Track, and the name Fast Track that I derived, was through taking a 40-year plan and condensing it down to 4 years. So in 4 years, you should be financially free in this company. If you can get there quicker, great. Some Rolodexes are bigger than others. Some level and sphere of influence are bigger than others. Some people don't have the time because they have personal commitments than those who may be single or maybe may have the time to carve out to build a business full time. But we've tailored the program to give the average individual who wants to start on a conservative level, and we've also provided a very fast-track program for those who can create an income stream, create an opportunity that can fortify, through the fast-track program, a method, a system, a culture in which you can take this opportunity and create an unlimited income source. Because this compensation plan is not going to change and decrease once we get to $100 million. The compensation plan is not going to get tweaked and we're going to take away percentages after we make $1 billion. And that's what companies do time after time again, is after they earn a certain level of success and income in the industry, they start turning against their own associates that built that revenue. And that's something that we're not going to do here. We've been very conservative with the plan. We know how things run. You've heard from Tony. You've heard from a few of our corporate team members. This is about doing this ethically. This is about doing and creating this opportunity in a way that we put ourselves in the seats in which you sit today. And it's very important that we think about a lot of the things that even Michael Kelly talks about in the way that we perceive, the way that we envision, and the way that we anticipate how we should get involved in this business. And money is a huge part of life, unfortunately. No pun intended. Not the company, but in our own lives. And I think it's something that we have to take very seriously and really duplicate the message in terms of what this compensation plan really means and what we can do to gain financial success in so many different ways to be able to nurture other ways.